Hey guys, so today we're gonna make a honey butter baked salmon. It's super easy, super simple, and super healthy to make. This is about 1.5 pounds, fresh from the market. And then we need some seasonings. The first will be crushed sea salt. I use pink Himalayan. Then we're gonna use some parsley. Then we're gonna use some thyme. Get a little spicy with it. It's not a spicy ingredient. Then we're gonna use some onion powder. Then we're gonna use some organic Italian seasoning with flaxseed. I'm a big fan of flaxseed, as you guys will eventually find out. We're gonna use some black peppercorn, crushable preferred, some honey. As you can see, I like 100% pure honey. And then some butter. I use Smart Balance. It's healthier and it has omega-3s, which is really, really good. And then we're gonna use some oil, canola oil, just to make sure it doesn't stick to the little wrapping pods we're gonna bake them in. We're gonna have some onions that we're gonna chop up, some green onions, and then some garlic cloves. If I had to live in the world with one seasoning, I think it would be 2 seasonings. I can't do one. 2 seasonings, garlic and salt. Right, so I bought from my local fish market about 1.5 pounds of salmon. And this is typically a good serving for 2 people. If you eat smaller portions, this is way more than you need. I'm gonna go ahead and wash this, as you should for any raw fish or meat. Right, so the first thing I typically like to do is weigh my food out. I'm very big on counting calories and macros and things of that nature. So I want to try to cut about yay big. All right, guys, apparently my knife isn't sharp enough. All right, so much better now. That's why it's important to have a nicely serrated knife. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure this piece right here. It measures to be about 445 grams, which is a decent amount. And this one measures about 316. It's a little bit bigger than anticipated, but that's fine. So now, you're gonna put your pieces of fish aside, and you're gonna get a small bowl separate from everything else, and you want to go ahead and scoop out some butter into this bowl to melt. In this instance, I got Smart Balance. It's healthier. It has omega-3. So yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and put about 2 tablespoons of butter in here. And these are each teaspoon, so I need 3 to make 1 tablespoon. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the microwave for about 15 to 20 seconds. Now we wait. Well, maybe I needed less time. All right, so now we have our 3 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna go ahead and take a tablespoon of oil and pour that right into the the butter mixture. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and take the honey. We're gonna put 1 tablespoon in at the moment. 2, 3 teaspoons, which equals 1 tablespoon. Okay. Perfect. We're gonna take some salt. And when it comes to salt, I'm always adamant on just basically tasting it as you go, because everybody has their own preference to salt. Some people have different dietary standards. I like salt, so. All right. You're gonna take about a 3-second sprinkle of onion. I don't usually measure things out when it comes to seasonings. Sorry. Again, this one is gonna be about another 3 seconds of ground black pepper. 3 seconds. We're gonna go ahead and add some Italian seasoning. This has flaxseed in it, so again, that's more omega-3s. And you're gonna sprinkle liberally. At least cover the top. It should look something like this. Then we're gonna go ahead and grab some thyme. You're gonna wanna do a pinch of this only. Thyme is a very strong seasoning. And you just sprinkle that on top. And then you're gonna go in with the parsley as well. Got stuck. And you're gonna do the same, you're supposed to do the same thing as I did with the Italian seasoning, except, you know, don't just have it go everywhere like I just did. All right, so now everything should look like that in terms of your seasonings. And we're gonna go ahead and get our cutting board, which is actually taken. So I'm gonna get my other cutting board. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and wash off our green onions. All right, so I'm gonna use about these 3 and put this one aside. Get the handy dandy things. You're gonna always wanna cut off the ends. You don't need them. Blech. And then I personally like to cut off the tips. You don't need to, it's just a personal thing. I feel like it's fresher if I do. All right, now we're gonna get into the chopping. You want to be careful when it comes to chopping. You don't want to do what I did when I was a little girl and chop off my finger into the emergency room. So. You're gonna take those green onions, the scent is absolutely divine. And you're just gonna pour that into here. Don't kill myself. All right. Ooh. Okay, now we're gonna move on to our garlics. You're gonna wanna mince those as well. I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna do 5, yeah. And these, you don't have to mince as finely. You just want the pieces in there to add some depth and flavor to the salmon. Woo. Those green onions are getting to my eyes, guys. In all the years that I've been cooking, I can never figure it out. I never figure it out. Oh my God, my eyes. Yeah. If anybody has any recommendations or tips on how to cut onions without crying like a baby, please do comment down below. I could really use it. Again, you just want to get them loosely chopped so you can put it in the mixture. Woo! Put that inside there. Eyeballs. Okay, so I do know this one trick. When it comes to cutting these kinds of onions, you want to make sure not to touch the root, because the root is what really brings out those chemicals that are very sensitive to our eyes. So what you do is you cut off the tip, right? That's what she said. No. Be very careful with your knives, guys. You take out the outer layer. You break down the wall. And then you regret it afterwards because, you know, the emotions, the tears, they come flowing. So now that you have your one side cut and then your root still intact, you're gonna grab it and you're gonna go straight down, not touching the root. Ooh, okay. And you're gonna do that about 4 lines similar to that. One, two, three, 4. Then, now that you have it like that, you're gonna go ahead and just chop. Okay, we only need about half an onion, so I'll be saving this other half for another recipe another time. So now that you have these, you can take out any chunks that you don't like. You can go quickly over it, a rough chop through. And leave that to the side. All right, so you're now gonna take this mixture that we've worked very hard on and you're gonna mix it. This is what it looks like. It's very thick. And you can feel free to do what I'm about to do and try it. It's good, but I personally think it needs more salt to kind of really balance out the honey. All right, guys. Now that you have your mixture made, you're gonna go ahead and grab your tin foil. You're gonna get about a piece, a little double the size of your salmon, right? And then you're gonna take a scoop of that sauce we made, mesh it on the bottom in a little square shape. You're gonna go ahead and take that salmon, place it on top, and now you have a perimeter to kind of build that boat for your salmon around, right? All right, and the key thing about this is that it really helps to capture the moisture of the salmon. So while it's cooking in with these juices, it has like a nice bedding of kind of gravy that you can go ahead and use while you eat on a salad if you're just eating salmon in a salad. Okay, now you're gonna roughly divide the mixture amongst your 2 pieces. Since this one is a bigger piece, I am putting more of the flavoring on this one. All right, put that aside. Take your hands and make sure you just kind of mix it all around. Really caress it. Caress your food with love, guys. It'll appreciate it tenfold in flavor. All right, so now that we have our salmons beautifully done, we're gonna take those onions that we had chopped earlier, we're gonna take about a little handful, pour it roughly on top of each of those little pieces. All right, So now that you guys have your little salmon boats created, you want to cover them up and really create that capsule. Get a piece and try to figure out the best way to ensure that you have like a pocket where the top of the tin foil isn't actually touching your salmon, so that the heat can actually circle around its whole side. You guys want it to be have enough space so that it's not touching the top of the tin foil and the air can kind of swirl around in there. Right, so once you have your boats situated, you're gonna get a container like this, something that can be placed in the oven, and you're gonna place your little boats, your salmon boats, inside the container. Like so. So now we're gonna take our little banana boats and put it in the oven, which should already be preheated at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Exciting. So what you're gonna do now is cook it for about 15 to 20 minutes. What I recommend is once it hits the 15-minute mark, to go in there and just casually check how the salmon's doing to see if it's cooked or not, or if it could actually use those extra 5 minutes. Some ovens are really finicky, so it really depends on what you know your oven's gonna be like. All right, guys, so I cleaned up the space. I brought out my plate, my utensils to check on the salmon, and I'm really excited to show you guys what the finished product would look like. Are you guys ready? All right. Okay, let's look at what this looks like. Oh, guys, look at that. Look at all those juices, the tenderness of this. Oh my God, I'm super excited. This is amazing, guys. Ah, God, and you can smell the aromas. It still has that salmon smell, but covered with like a buttery honey kind of whiff. So also the great thing about this is that if you want to choose a messless option, you can eat it right inside the tinfoil boat. But for my sake, I want to put this in my plate. So what you're gonna do is you're simply just gonna grab it, and it should be so tender that, as you can see, the skin is just peeling off of the bottom of the salmon, and you just have these lovely, beautiful flakes of the fish. Oh my God, my mouth is watering. Look at that. Just perfectly coming off of it. That's tender. All right. All right. And then you're gonna take that delicious juice, guys. You can use this juice as a dressing for a salad or to go over plain rice. It really does help complement the dish and bring it from like a boring, just healthy meal to something that's really savory and sweet at the same time. And again, guys, look at that. The freaking whole skin of the salmon is in there. And I think it's because of this boat. It saved its life. All right, so this is what it looks like again, guys. Beautiful, beautiful, flaky. Let's try this. It's like, it hits your palate and it's sweet, but then the salty butteriness comes to your palate, and then it kind of balances out to this like very clean taste, if that makes any sense. I don't know, guys. You're really gonna love it. I'm so happy to share my recipe with you guys. It's really good for you. You can't go wrong. It's easy, it's delicious. If you're gonna make this for anybody, they're gonna go crazy for it, I promise. As always, guys, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. I love creating videos like this all the time. Thank you so much for watching this video today. This is a very dear and true recipe to me, and I hope that you guys enjoy it and it becomes a staple in your diet as well. Till next time, bye. It's so good that all my neighbors are being loud. I mean, they're raving. Seriously, there's like a party up there and out there.